الو. and you don't need to wait for a perfect moment to start. Number two is, if you think you're too young to start, then you'll end up being 70-year-old and you'll never start. So
Right.
it doesn't mean it doesn't matter if you're 15 years old or you're 85 years old. If you want to start, then start today.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, anything and everything like that,
Yeah.
is really, really good. So when it starts, will you and I both be on the screen together? Is what will the visual look like?
Yeah, we both would be on the screen together.
Okay. And then are you going to stay on the screen the whole time, or do you click yourself off, or?
So initially, when I'll be sharing my journey and everything, we both
Right.
would be on the screen. And
Okay.
when you'll play those videos, and after that, uh, like only you'd be on the screen. So I
Okay.
will be removed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw that one of the videos has the QR code. Is the QR code and where to donate? Is that on the screen throughout the entire presentation, or how does that work?
Okay. Uh, yeah. I think it just got started. So let's just get started. Hmm.
Perfect.
You can you can start speaking.
Okay. Hello,
Yeah.
everybody. Welcome to the second live stream of Project Smile. It's just a real honor and a privilege to be here with everybody and to share our successes. We had a great first live stream, and people have asked me how I feel about it and what I thought about it, and quite honestly, it goes beyond words, to be completely honest. We started this journey a couple, 2 or 3 months ago, and the gentleman on the screen with me is going to share his story. He's a huge part of why this is all here. But before I introduce Aver, I want to kind of give a little bit of updates, kind of help everybody understand what we're doing and what, today's going to look like. My real goal, people ask me, why am I doing Project Smile? Like, why? And I had an experience in South Africa. I realized that a lot of the globe doesn't have water, and I just really created this passion, I guess, for helping people get water. I mean, to me, it's a basic necessity, obviously. And then the more I learn about that whole concept, the more I'm just have a real passion for it. So at Project Smile, we've got multiple different approaches to how we plan to really help and change the globe, if you will. And the first thing that what I realized when I was in South Africa is that there's just a tremendous number of people that don't have the financial means to get the education or the next level of training so that they can improve their lives. And that's where, this whole process and what Project Smile, when you visit our website, what you're going to see is a training program that has 20 different training programs for people that are seeking next levels of career. We'll be adding to that every month. Starting in September, we'll add 5 a month. And we also have modules for young kids to teach basic math at this point and eventually reading. And just because of everybody's support, I really want to thank everybody who has passed these videos on, that's joined the live stream the first time around, and that are back with us now, because I want to share some numbers that, quite honestly, are pretty staggering. In the first 2 weeks, our training programs, which we have 20 of them, had 3,268 downloads. So, what does that mean? That means that 3,268 people around the world now have a pathway, an education platform that they can create a business and move their family forward. We also had on our education platform 1,399 kids enroll. That's close to 1,400 kids, that kids, adults, anybody's welcome, that now have a basic format that they can follow and they can learn math. And that's, obviously, if you're going to move yourself forward in life, education and knowledge is really an important thing. And what Project Smile is truly about is where passion meets knowledge. Well, passion is the heart of the people that are on these calls today. Somebody asked me the question. They said, because our first live stream had almost 13,000 people. And they asked me, they said, "So Joe, are you nervous talking in front of that many people?" And I said, "No, I'm really not. I mean, if you're on a live stream like this, it means you've got the same heart I do. Quite honestly, I wish I could hug every one of your necks out there around the world because together we're doing something very, very unique and we're changing the lives of people that just need some investment." And basically, what today's live stream is going to be, I'm going to introduce Avril, my partner here. And but after that, I'm going to really do the best I can from live stream to live stream to help each one of you meet the people, the literal folks, the orphans in these orphanages that Project Smile has already been helping. And with your help, donations, of course, financially, but there's all sorts of ways you can support us. We're going to reach millions and millions of people. We're going to help tens of thousands of kids and humans have better water conditions. And we're going to literally, our goal is to have 1 million downloads. So, with that, I want to introduce my partner, Averill. Real quick, how he and I met is I met him through our LinkedIn, and I somebody said to me, they said, "Well, how did you meet him?" I said, "Well, I'm not really sure. I just know that he and his partner Sid took their time, got on a web call with me." And by the time it was all over said and done, we created a relationship. They helped me. They're the reasons my social media is what it is. Note to self, anybody out there that's watching this, if you need somebody to, work on your social media and get it up to a level that's, quite amazing. The gentleman on the screen here with me, Avril, is the man and his company. I am literally that guy that 90 days ago, if you would have put my name, Joe Mitiga, on the internet, you'd have found me 5 times. You find my oldest son 100. Well, now look at my Instagram, look at my YouTube, search my name and look at the social media and that whole social media presence out there, which is what is needed for us to reach the people that are going to be able to support Project Smile. And I'm meeting the people on the ground that are the hands-on people for the orphans we're wanting to support. So with all of that, I want to introduce Avril. Avril, welcome to the call.
Thank you so much for inviting me here, Joe.
Yeah,
And yeah, like it's really good that we just started a couple minutes ago and we already have more than 2,000 people watching. So yeah, that's the power of our brand.
right. That's
Hmm.
awesome. So Avril, you and I have been talking now for a while, and
Hmm.
we're definitely two different generations, needless to say. I'm probably old enough to be your grandfather, even though I don't look that old, I would say.
Yeah.
But, you're definitely a young entrepreneur. You're in India.
Hmm.
You told me about your upbringing, your loving family,
Hmm.
and though, you had some experiences in high school that really motivated you to move forward, and that was a lot of the passion behind
Yeah.
Project Smile here. So share with everybody your journey and basically how you got to here with me.
Yeah, so I'll start from the like complete scratch how I got to know about like this online world exists and something like that. So I was just another, Gen Z kid who used to play a lot of video games on his phone and who was addicted to, different video games. I used to play video games 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours a day. My parents were just pissed off by I didn't really, I was like fine at studying. I was not that super good at studying, but I used to get like above average marks. But like that's the thing. And after that I was told that you need to get a college degree, you need to do these 3 degrees, any one of them, and if you don't do, in India, the two most popular things to do are either you become a doctor or you become an engineer. And if you do something else, then you're not considered even you're not that, you don't get a good status in the society. So same happened with me. So my parents told me that you either become a doctor or an engineer, but the exam that helps you become a doctor or an engineer, millions of kids, give that exam, and only a few thousand get selected. So it's like the success rate was even less than 1%, but I was convinced. I was like, okay, if this is the best option, I'm going to go for it. But after that, one day, I was just, watching YouTube, and mostly I used to watch like video games and everything and different stuff I was curious about. But I was watching, I think this was when I was 11 or 12, I'm not sure, but at that time I was watching YouTube, and I saw a video of a person who actually, made a business that was actually making him millions of dollars, and he was 19. I was like, okay, that's good, but what do I need to study to get there? Then after I researched about him, I was just too curious that, okay, did he become an engineer? Is he a doctor or something like that? Then I clicked on the video, I watched the whole video, and it's just completely transformed the way I was thinking about this world. I got to know he didn't even finish school. And I was like, how is that possible? I mean, that should be fake, but it had millions of views on it. And I was just confused. But then I got to know about a lot of people who don't go for formal education, and then they actually get distracted by formal education, uh, to be precise. And this happened, and after that, I started exploring a lot of things. When I was 12 or 13 years old, I made a video game. I didn't know how to code. I learned how to code, and I created a video game in my summer holidays. So, and no one told me to do it. I didn't even, finish my holidays homework. I was just creating that game because I just wanted to. No one asked me to create it, but I was just curious. What if I create this game? What happens? So I actually created that. It was not a super, you know, super good game, but it was just a 2D shooter game. And I was 12 or 13 years old at that time. And then time passed by. I started doing different things. I was still playing video games, and I started posting those video game clips on YouTube, trying different things, trying different channels. I was into a bit of music and everything. So I also started a music channel where I was creating videos about different famous people. I was creating music videos for them. So a lot of, like, some of them also mentioned my name there. But like I did a lot of things, but like none of that worked out. And this actually taught me the first lesson of my life, that you need to like wire inside your brain that you need to do something. Start today. Whatever you do, whatever stupid idea you might have in your mind today, just start it today. If you start it today, then what's the worst thing that can happen? It will not work. Perfectly fine. You learn something. You move to the next thing. It will not, like, even if the second thing doesn't work, fine. You learn something, and if you continue the cycle, within a few months or maybe a few years, you'll be better than you were before. You'll be 100 times better than you were. uh, like, you as a person, you'd be 100 times better than the person who started those things, like that version of you. So if you are just rethinking everything, okay, I'm not good enough, okay, I don't know, I don't know if I should do this. No one is good enough on day one. Joe was not good enough on day one. I was not good enough on day one. No one is born with billions. I mean, no one is born with 1,000 skills that they can just, you know they can just start implementing. They need to learn. They need to have their own journey. So, and to have your own journey, you should get started at some point. So I think 5,000, more than 5,000 people are watching right now. I just want to, like, even if 50 people out of these 5,000 people start taking action today, then I would say that whatever I said, it just worked. So just take action today. That's the first thing I want to tell you, and you'll slowly get there. Then, coming back to my journey, I started doing different things. I was, doing social media. I was seeing some success with it than like a few hundred subscribers, not like tremendous amount of viewers, millions and billions. No, at that time I was just, small. But after that, one day what happened at school is, I was in my school and it was a free period. No one was teaching anything. There was no teacher in the classroom. I was reading a book by Robert Kiyosaki. It's called Rich Dad Poor Dad. Like it's a good book. If you guys want to check it out, then you can. So I was reading that book, and that book was out of my syllabus. It was not mathematics. It was not English. It was just out of the syllabus. It was not in my school's scope of the things that they taught. It was out of that. So a teacher came to me. She was like, "Why are you reading this?" I'm like, I don't have anything else to do, so I'm just reading a book. What's wrong with that?" She's like, "No, that's out of our school's syllabus. You shouldn't read that." I was like, "Why?" And then she didn't say anything. She started yelling at me. And then she took me to the principal's office. And then I was pissed off by this. And I don't like, no hate to the teacher, because she's just doing her job. She's just doing what she's what like her boss taught her to do. But the thing is, the system is designed in a way that actually, in mostly in backward countries, which are like developing countries, in these countries, the system just makes, like, stops you to think out of the box. And I heard a lot of people do say the same thing. As I mentioned, I saw the video that actually changed the way I thought of the person who made millions of dollars when he was 19. So he was saying the same thing. I heard the same thing from a lot of people, a lot of different people, and I actually experienced it now. And I came back home. I was, pissed off by everything. I didn't want to do anything. I was like, I'll not go to school again. I mean, of course I did, but like I was just uh like I just wanted to, you know, I was just super, I don't know the words, but like I was just so pissed off. So I was just kind of crying at that time, and tears were running down my face. I entered my room, and I saw my parents there. My parents also told me that, okay, what you're doing is not good. Your teacher called me. You were doing this, and I was talking to them. They were like, okay, like you're reading a book, which is fine, but you could do it after, after the actual after school. So like my parents also said to me that, okay, this was not good. Then I just rushed to my room. I was holding I saw a piece of paper and a pen, and I wrote, I want to reform this education system. I want to change this system anyhow. If I can make some few changes that would help other people like me, then it can actually change the world. And the only one flaw that I see in the traditional system is, they like, obviously, like you need to learn basic maths, you need to learn English, you need to learn how to form sentences. All these things are super, super good, which is required. But the only problem I have is, they don't teach you about skills. And I had one of my friends who's younger than me. A few weeks ago, he told me that they were given something to do by the school, so some homework, and he did it using AI. And he took it to their teacher, and he told her, like, he actually told the teacher that I did it using AI. And his teacher started yelling at him, why did you do it using AI? Why didn't you do it yourself? That's the only thing I don't like about the traditional system. They don't want to change. They don't want you to learn new skills. Uh, so that's why, like in Project Smile, the first thing that I loved when I was talking to Joe is, we want to teach people skills that they can actually implement in their life and monetize them and actually live a better life. So yeah, that's about it. And then, like, I met Joe. He was just a regular client in the beginning, but after about a month of getting into the contract, I think it was in May, he told me about like Project Smile. That was really, really, he actually left a message on our group chat where we talk to our clients. So I was really amazed by like his thoughts, and I was like really, really impressed. And I actually wanted to do something similar. So it's like, okay, why not now? So I just asked him to open a call. I think we had a 2 hour long conversation at that time. And then, you know, it just went like that. We launched the website. We started, we introduced, I think we have like 21 something training programs. We had a company that helped us, and they donated uh, their educational videos to us for the children. So it's going really, really well. And yeah, I mean, as Joe said, our goal is 1 million downloads of all the resources that we have on the website. So I don't know when we're gonna hit that, but we definitely will.
Very good. Very good. So, a couple quick questions. I know you can tell the story about somebody that through a family member has already used it, but also when you're sharing about that,
Mm.
everybody's on this call, right? You and I are two people.
Yeah,
Technology allows us, when people say, "Oh, 1 million downloads," it's not impossible. I don't
yeah.
know how many people we have on here right now. It doesn't matter. 5,000, it doesn't matter.
Mm,
But what does matter though is as a group, as a collective, if we all go out and support the process, what can others do? What can the 5,000 people or however many that are watching now, how
mm.
can they help us reach that 1 million person download? What can they do now to help us do that?
Okay. So the number one thing is, whoever you are, I'm sure you know at least 10 people. So what you can do is you can click on the share button and just send this video to like this live stream to 10 people. Or what you can do is you can use your social media to share this video with whoever you want. So you can literally, even if you have like 100 people on your social media, if you share our video, and if let's say only 1,000 people do it right now, that's 100,000 people. So so we actually reach 100,000 people just by just by 1,000 people who are watching our stream. So I just want you to share this stream and also Joe's pages, because Joe's whole social media is linked to Project Smile. So if you can share that with more and more people, then it would actually help a lot of other people. So number one, if the people they don't really have the money and resources to learn skills and implement those skills in their life, then they would get the access to it. If they're looking for something that they can use to to contribute, if they want to contribute. So for example, I want you to share the story of the little girl Patricia, so that these people would know like how things are in the parts of the world where most of the people are not there. By the way, we have like 10,000 people watching.
Wow, that's
Hmm,
fantastic. That's
hmm,
fantastic. So tell real quick about you told me a family member's friend
hmm.
found us and used it and is in the middle of it. Share that story and then we'll move on and we're going to introduce everybody to the rest of the folks.
Yeah, sure. So what happened is I have a family member actually texted me that, hey, someone wants to talk to you. I'm like, who? And they mentioned their name, and they were like, he wants to talk to you. I was like, why? uh, does he like he wants to do something, or you know th- I actually thought that he needs some help with social media or something like that, and he's like a new client or something. So I was thinking it like that, but when I was like, okay, sure, you can send me their email. He sent me the person's email. I reached out to him. He was like, oh, you actually replied. And I was like, yeah, I did. Like my my family member, someone from my family actually, asked me to reach out to you, and he was like, yeah. And then we like I shared my phone number to him, and he called me, and we talked for like 15 to 20 minutes, and he actually shared his whole journey about how he actually stumbled upon, like when he was just scrolling through his Instagram, he found Joe Miriga's page, and then he found about the Project Smile website from there, and he also watched the first live stream, and then he went to the Project Smile website. He was going through all these training programs, and then he saw different things, and he had a like he actually has a laptop of like his father's. It's his father's laptop that his father uses for office, but his father rarely uses that laptop. So he was like, okay, why don't I learn something like video editing? Why don't I learn how to edit videos? And he actually started that video editing course there, which is like free for everyone, because we want things to be accessible to more and more people, and we want to educate more and more people, like as more people as we can. So uh, he started that video editing course, and he was like, okay, I'm halfway through it, and he was like, okay, when you finish it, just come back to me, and then I have a lot of video editing work already, so I'll just give him some editing work from my agency. So this basically tells us that there might be, like, the numbers that Joe said. I think it was more than 3,000 people who actually join one of the training programs. So even if 10% of the people take it seriously, then we have more than 300 people like the guy who reached out to me around the world. They can be from Africa, they can be from India, they can be from you know some parts of America, or they can be from anywhere around the world, and they are actually learning because of us. And these people, in the next coming months and in the next coming years, they're going to change their life if they actually implement the things we are teaching them. So yeah, it's very powerful.
Very good. Avril,
Yeah.
thank you so much. Thanks for sharing your story. Thanks for everything you do here. Your ability with your social media skills, to create this message around the globe is really going to change millions of people. I'm sure your parents are really proud of you and that school teacher. I honor people that, they do their jobs like you say, and sometimes there's a lot of people out there that are looking for something more. So
Right.
thank you for being you, and I really appreciate it. Any
Yeah,
last
one
thought you
more
have there?
yeah,
We'll
one
move
more
on.
thing is, I actually had a conversation with that school teacher recently, and she told me
Mhm.
she's proud of me, and which is
Yeah,
which is really good. So like I said, it's not the fault of your teacher, it's not the fault of your school. It's just like something that the system is missing, and I really want the system to include these things in the curriculum. So, like, if they can just identify that, okay, this person is good at these three things, and if we can teach them these things instead of forcing them to do something that everyone is doing, then I think that would just improve the system a lot.
very good. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your help with the call today. Great interview. Thank you for sharing your story.
Yeah, thank you
So
so much for inviting me here today, and yeah, we'll
we
make it
appreciate.
big.
Yes, very good. Thank you much. So for everybody watching on the call, you can obviously see, Avril's passion for what we do here, his passion for helping people. And, we are now at a place where technology allows for the solution for many, many millions and millions, billions of people's challenges. Years ago, and I just learned this kind of recently, 10, even 20 years ago, the technology really didn't exist. So there were literally tens of thousands. We're talking about the globe. There's millions, hundreds of millions of people that are in challenge. And what the mindset has always been is like big brother or government or somebody's going to come in and rescue. And you know what? It's just not the case. We live, there's a billion people in challenge, but that means there's 8 billion that aren't. My message to the entire world is how about just 1% of your overflow one time? And what would that do? Basically, it will change the lives of a billion people, literally. And that's what Project Smile is all about. Our education platform is there. It's going to continue to get bigger. People have asked me, how can you support? Well, make sure, visit Project Smile. And if you've got videos, educational videos, if you've got training videos, if you're a teacher, if you can help us expose more people, that's the key. It really is. Now, the next level of what we do is my passion. Aviril's passion is education. Mine is too, in the expanding of the entrepreneurial base. But a passion even greater than that for me is the basic need of clean water. And I am very passionate about this. I live in middle upper class United States. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. 100% of every human I come across my entire life has always had water. Always. And I've had people argue with me, well, there's homeless. I know, but there's still water. When I was in South Africa 3 months ago, and my friend Chris said to me, two boys came up and were talking. I asked, do they have water? And he just very kindly, because he knew my brain was exploding, he said, no, Joe, I guarantee they don't. And when I say my brain exploded, really what happened is my heart exploded. I said, this is 2025. We as a human race, humanity is going to fix this. Well, how? And the answer is an investment. You know, Avril and I are both very committed to this. We've got other people very committed to it. Basically, this is a nonprofit. I promise you, you look me up, you look at my business, I don't need a penny from Project Smile. I am not doing this for personal money at all. I have more than I would ever spend now. My kids are successful. Everything is great. Why am I doing it though? People have asked. And I'm doing it because I was spiritually guided to do it out of South Africa. And what I've learned is, and I'm going to show you some videos here in a minute, of orphans, that there are people on the planet as we're speaking, men and women, adults, who have gone through challenges and now they have dedicated their life to helping other people, to helping these orphans. I'm getting ready to show you right now that people are literally, little Patricia is somebody that we helped. And it took $50. I asked him, I said, what happens if she didn't have the $50 for medical care? And his answer to me was, her arm would have gotten more swollen, and eventually they just cut it off. And I'm like, what? $50? I, yes, I gave it the $50. And there was another boy that I get an email, a message. I'm learning WhatsApp. I didn't even know WhatsApp existed 90 days ago. And I get this WhatsApp from brother Ben. And I have to call him Ben because he's got one of these beautiful African names that's like 11 letters long, one vowel or two. So I call him brother Ben. The man has dedicated his life. This particular man, his parents separated when he was young. He was on the streets by himself at 6. A God-sent woman came to him and took him in. Now he's in his early 30s, and he's the mouthpiece. He's the workhorse for 15 or 30, I think 25 kids. I get a message. Little boy in the hospital, high fever. I said, what happened? He said he drank dirty water. I'm like, what's that mean he drank dirty water? And he showed me. He showed me. And I said, what happens? He says, well, he needs medicine. I said, okay. I said, how much? He said, $80. I said, okay, no problem. After, I asked him, I said, what happened? He says, Joey would have died. I said, what the frick you mean he would have died? For $80, a child dies? Yeah, they die. I'm learning more and more. And what I know is there's an abundant world out there. I'm not asking anybody to remove your own personal abundance. I don't. But if you're wondering, what will your $50 go to? It might save an arm. What would your $100 go to? It might save a life, a little boy. And we're playing videos along the way here. So you can just kind of see what I see, what I saw. When we get this technology down, and I want everybody to know here that's watching, thank you for your patience with us. I don't claim to be a YouTube specialist. You might see some blips. You're going to see real. This is real because this is real life. And the answers aren't in our governments. Our government officials do the best they can. Our answer is in the opening of hearts of millions of people. People ask me, they say, "So Joe, you're raising money?" I said, "No, I'm not really raising money. I'm opening hearts." And what does that mean to open a heart? Well, I can tell you, I get thank you after thank you after thank you. Basically, Avril and I right now are the original donors of Project Smile. And Avril's got some projects that he's doing where over this next month or two, you're going to see some videos of him. We're buying carts for individuals in India to start businesses. $600 investment to start a business, change an entire life, change an entire family's life, change two or three families' life for $400 or $500. Well, we're going to be doing that type of thing around the world. We are. And each week you're going to see videos of our successes. So the videos that you're seeing now, and if our team can just kind of play them, I can't see the videos being played, but if our team will just play them, I'll kind of talk you through probably what you're seeing. And my passion is water. It is. I've got a good friend of mine, Tom, who's going to be one of our guests in the future, where Tom, for the past 15, 19 years, has been solving the water issues in the Dominican Republic. And unbeknownst to me, in Dominican Republic, as water levels have changed, they have no fresh water. None, zero, no fresh water. I'm like, what are you talking about? No fresh water. He says, Joe, it's a real life thing. Ocean tides changed, filled the caverns under the island. So you can drill as deep as you want to. When you hit water, it's salt water. You know, it is what it is. It's an amazing thing. And this man, I'm going to have him on the call here soon. He had a spiritual experience. He'll tell the story where 19 years ago, this man who was not necessarily a God-following human like I wasn't at all, but now I am. And he had a spiritual experience 19 years ago. For 19 years, this man, while he built his businesses, while he sold his business, while he raised his family, while his loving wife supported him 1,000%, for 19 years, he has been figuring out the technologies to solve the water issue in Dominican Republic. And today, technology exists so we can do it. Literally, there is technology that is available that was not available 10 years ago. And not only technology, there are people literally on the ground that have dedicated their lives. This man, Brother Ben, he's dedicated his life. And again, I can't see the videos. I'm hoping our team is sharing videos. The orphan video, the orphanage video. That's Brother Ben walking around. This man, every day, he and his wife, every day, they barely survive themselves, but they're giving back to these 25 kids. Well, our first big project here at Project Smile is to raise the money for a water tank. And please understand, what are we doing? I am a guy who is passionate about empowerment. That's why I transcend religion. People ask me, are you a Christian? I'm like, listen to me. I'm a guy who knows that God's inside, and I believe that however you get there is your choice, not Joe's choice. Whatever religion works for you, great. I honor it. I challenge some of the human interpretation sometimes, but we all know there's a God inside of us. And that God inside of Joe has guided me to go from a place of gratitude. I could do a 5 hour presentation on the gratitude I have in my life. I'm 31 years without drinking alcohol. I've got two great kids. I could go on and on and on. But what I learned, what I have now living, is something much greater than gratitude, and it's called grace. Gratitude is the experience you receive as you receive God's gifts. As you go through the highs and the lows and the challenges and the abundance, as you get things you're working for, as you lose things you're working for, whatever it is, the successes in life is gratitude. And I have thousands of things to be grateful for. But I realized gratitude is an ever chasing event. You're grateful for something on Monday, and then eventually you start doing something on Thursday to reclaim that sense of gratitude. Well, when you move from gratitude to grace, grace is an experience that never leaves. And grace is the experience you get in your heart, in your soul, by giving back. That's why I talk about the giving of 1%. Now, do I really think there's people on this call right now that are just going to automatically give 1% of their wealth? Yeah, I do, actually, especially if you're in the States and you got more than enough. Why? Because in our current stock market, that's basically 1% one time. You earn it back in interest in stocks in 3 months. And what difference can you make? You can save a life. You can save an arm. You can help 25 kids. And this particular water tank we're investing in is going to help 45 kids never have to drink dirty water again, based on God's grace called rain. It collects rain. And these kids are walking a mile, 2 miles. I'm sure you saw the videos by now, or you will, after school at night for dirty fricking water. Like he said, better than nothing. Yes, better than nothing. We originally invested and got them water tools so they can boil some of their water. So, what is Project Smile all about? Project Smile is not about handouts. We're not rescuing anybody. We're empowering. We're investing. We're investing in these people so they can have the resources they need for immediate survival. One gentleman, you see the roof repairs. I met him through a man out of Australia. And he says to me, we're talking, he's a second orphanage that we're supporting. Our first big project is the water tanks. The second is the second orphanage. Well, with smaller things, if it's $100, if it's $150, and trust me, if I was a multimillionaire, both these places would already have $2,000 water tanks. They'd have it already. Why? Because it feels really good to do it. My side, my gift. And anyways, I'm texting back and forth with this gentleman. His name is Brother Allen. And I said, "How was your day?" He says, "Well, it's kind of hard." I said, "I'm sorry, what happened?" He said, "It rained." I said, "Okay, well, the roof has holes in it." I was like, "What do you mean the roof has holes in it?" 45 children from 2 to 10. They have to sit up. They have to sleep sitting up because the roof has holes in it. I was like, my head explodes all the time around here. I said, "I'm so sorry. Like, what does it take to fix that?" He said, 10 sheets of metal. How much does that cost? $6 a sheet. $6 a sheet? Like $60? Yeah. You have anybody to help? Yeah. So how much is that? $40. So for $100, and I don't know if you're seeing the videos or not, I can't tell. For $100, next time it rains, 45 children can actually sleep laying down instead of sleep soaking wet. The $40, the $60 went to someone in that community who's selling the metal. The $40 went to a couple of 2 or 3 or 4 hardworking men that went up on the roofs and repaired and fixed it for $100. So you're sitting here. How can you help? Give me $100. Give Project Smile $100. Go to Project Smile and you'll see the donation tabs and support us that way. Support investment. Because once we get basic needs met, and we're working with these two orphanages first, And then the next goal is to support them in a business opportunity, which then allows them to be independent on their own efforts. So, what are you truly doing? There's 20,000 people watching here. What are you doing? You're a collective group just like me, open hearts, willing to help, needed to know where to help. Well, I've got two places now you can literally help. We're going to have these types of organizations around the world. And I can honestly say the difference today versus even 10 years ago. 10 years ago, there wasn't the technology. Literally just did an interview with Avril, who's in India. I'm in the United States. It's 10:45 a.m. where I am. And I did this time because the globe, besides the rest of the United States, the globe is in time zones later than ours. So our last call, we had people from Bangladesh, we had people from India, we had people from Africa, we had people all over the globe. And what does that mean? What is the similarity? Well, there's one God, and it's in all of us. If you're on this call today, you're guided here by something much grander than yourself. And you're asking yourself, how can you help? Money's one part. Of course it is. We need it. They need it. I don't need it. I can promise you I don't need it. But they need it because I can only do so much. One or two people like Avril and I can only affect so many. 20 people can affect 10 times more. We have 20,000 people on this call today. How about if everybody just goes to the button and gives us $5 a month? 10. We will literally change lives. And people are saying, well, how do we know where my money goes? Well, first off, if you're questioning where your $10 goes, you're probably on the wrong call. But just in case, you're going to see it right here. Next week, we're going to have more videos of people being directly affected by whatever dollars and cents come in here. Literally, you'll see it on the videos. And you might not have larger funds. I was literally on the phone. I was at a baseball tournament with my son. His coach is working with a group. When these owners sell, the owner of this particular, there's two of them. One guy is going to leave this business with $600 million, the other gentleman with 500 million. 600 million and 500 million. Now, these men are my age. They're 60. They've been successful their whole lives. That $1.1 billion, which they've worked hard for, they deserve every penny of it. But there are people out there right now. There's 20,000 of us on here. Somebody knows somebody who is willing to make a larger donation, that's willing to open their heart. And what I want to do is I'm creating what's called a legacy post. One way you can truly help me, visit our YouTube channel, which is my name, search it up, visit our YouTube channel and become a subscriber on our YouTube channel. Watch the videos. The more videos we put on there, the more time is spent on the YouTube channel. There's an income creation somewhere. Avril is explaining it to me. I'm not exactly sure what all that means, but I got brilliant, I mean brilliant minds on the backside of all of this. If I could introduce the people that are making this possible to you, your brains would explode. These young people are just genius when it comes to social marketing and social media. Avril is very, very humble. On my Instagram, I had zero 90 days ago. I think the last time I checked, I had 18 million views in less than 90 days. My message is powerful, but their ability to get it out there is even more powerful. You need somebody with your social media, contact these gentlemen. Go to Project Smile and get in touch with him. But how else can you support if you don't have the money? I get it. I'm not asking for anything that you don't have. I'm asking for 1% of an overflow. Move from gratitude to grace yourself. You'll see exactly where it's going to be. But there's other ways. Join my social media. Every time something comes out, his team puts a new video out daily, excuse me. Watch it and then send it. Avril said, everybody out there, you might have 14 followers, you might have 1,400, but unless you forward it to them, they might not hear about us. However, the young man heard about us, that he was telling that story, that young man now has a business opportunity, a training for free he would have never had if he hadn't found Project Smile. That's our goal. 1 million downloads means 1 million young people, old people, 1 million new entrepreneurs. How many does that take to solve things? It doesn't take that many million to truly make a dent in poverty around the world. And if you happen to know somebody with means, more means than normal, somebody that's in that $1 million range, they have a lot of money and they want to give more than $40. We have a thing called a legacy post. I want people that have a lot of money to feel what I feel. I wish I had a lot of money. I don't. I live comfortably, no question. I'm not searching for frickin' water. When I'm hungry, I go to the grocery store. But there are people out there with millions or even 1 million or billions. I want to help them move from a sense of gratitude to a sense of grace. And we do that with what we call a legacy post. The very first time I got a video of these little kids like thanking me because I gave them $40, a video. And it says, if you see on my social media, you'll see it. I had to sit down. It was so amazing and so beautiful. And so they think that I gave them the gift because I gave them $40, when in reality, it's the exact opposite. My heart is open in a way it's never been. And I'm a pretty connected guy. My heart is in a place of grace that I never even knew existed. And there are a lot of people out there with a lot of money, and they just don't know what they're missing. They've got the cars, they've got the boats, they've got the houses, their kids are doing great. What they're missing now is that next phase of consciousness. It's the giving back phase. Literally, what we're doing is somebody that has a little bit larger amount of money to give, we're doing what we call a legacy post. And we'll tell them exactly where the money's going. And then we'll have our people on the ground do a video with your name and the kids thanking you for a water tank. And then we're going to put you on our social media and connect it to yours so that you can show your family, hey, I helped some kids in Africa with an investment for their water. Because of my investment, these kids don't have to get sick for water. And we'll get you 100,000 views. Every video I post out there now, I don't know how they do it. I don't know. I guess my social media is just becoming that popular. Every post has 100,000. We had a post that had 4 million. So if you know somebody who has some extra money and extra means and an open heart, have them contact me. Have them, my email address, joe@joemitiga.com. That means you're coming to me directly. We've got other emails that we're hooking up with Project Smile, but me directly, joe@joemitiga.com. And that whole process of giving back is an amazing one. It moves from gratitude to grace. I could go on and on. My heart is full. There's a lot of people on here. I know that each of you are feeling what you need to be feeling, and each of you are here in a way that literally you can be a part of what's going on here. And if you just continue to come back, we went from 20,000 views. Last week, I think we had 13,000, and now we have 20,000 views.
No, we
And
have
okay,
we have 30,000 views.
30.
30,232 people right now. Exactly.
Thank you. 30,200. What does that mean? It means we're making a difference. It means that the more people we get, our goal is 1 million people on these with the technology, with your support. How do we do it? In 2 weeks, help me. Just support us. Support us in getting the message out there. I promise you, it's a feeling that will bring you to tears. 30,000 people, what does that mean to Joe and my personal life, my personal family? It means that my kids who make fun of me, they're probably watching now. Dad, you look so silly on that. I know, because I'm dad to them, but I'm the voice for the people that are the hands and the feet on the ground. Avril is the voice and the technology for the people that have a passion for on the ground work. If you're somebody out there and you're on the ground and you want us to support you in the future, we're going to raise millions and millions and millions of dollars. We are going to help. Our first goal is to get clean water for 10,000 children, to create businesses for 1,000 people with carts, to create an environment of 1 million downloads. And then once we reach that, then we expand from there. So, in closing, thank you. Thank you for being here. Visit projectsmile.world. Click the donation. We need you. And as equally as important, spread the word. We are a movement of like-minded, like-hearted people. If you were sitting in my living room, any one of the 30,000 people on here, I promise you, we would have the same connections. We would have the same desires. We would have the same personalities. Now, your personality might not be a big vocal one like mine, but I guarantee you our hearts are the same. And with that together, we're going to really change lives. And I'm hoping right now that we're able to create enough interest and enough financial support. I want to get the first orphanage their water system, which takes a few $1,000s. And from there, we'll just continue to move on. Each week, what can you look forward to next week? Not next week, in 2 weeks. We do this on the 1st and the 15th at 10 o'clock Eastern US because it doesn't matter the day. We just know the 1st and the 15th, people can follow that. I do it 10 o'clock Eastern because we're global. And I'm sorry for the people in California, that's 3 hours earlier, but it's on YouTube. Go watch this whole program on YouTube. Follow my YouTube channel. That will really help. If we had 30,000 new subscribers on my YouTube channel, Aviral says if enough people watch stuff on YouTube, there's income to be created there. Please understand, all income created from Project Smile goes back into Project Smile. I've got a full-fledged business. My business is Avion Energy. I've been doing that for 15 years. We do fine. Everything that's earned here goes back into Project Smile. And tell people about us, join our social media campaigns, tell people about the next live stream. On the next live stream, I'm not sure who you're going to visit, who you're going to meet. I'm not sure the guest yet, but we'll get it arranged here soon. Every week we're going to have a guest that's going to give some type of inspirational message. A lot of them are just heart-driven, God-driven people that are in a passion, the people on the ground. And if you're one of those people watching, joe@joemidiga.com. I will create a conversation with you. I promise you I will. And together we're making a difference. Literally, you saw it in the videos. What's that mean? A little girl still has her arm. Another boy's still with us. There was a video somewhere. I bought him a ball. I bought him a soccer ball. $12. I didn't even think it was $12. What does your $12 do? It brings a smile to 15 kids with a ball. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Aviral, thank you for being our guest. And I love every one of you. Please know that I legitimately love every one of you. If I could hug every one of you, I would. My name is Joe Midiga. I am here to help. I'm here to serve. And anything I can do to help you out in your world, please get in touch with me. I'm everywhere on social media. Just find me, connect with me, talk to me. And anything I can do to help you. Next, in 2 weeks, you're going to see more videos. You're going to see more kids. You're going to see more success stories. My goal is to show the challenge, but also the successes. We're investing. We're not rescuing. We're empowering. We're not creating dependence. We're helping people improve their lives. ProjectSmile.world, it's where passion meets knowledge, and collectively, we're making a huge difference. Thank you, everybody, and thank you so much for your support. I look forward to talking with you again in 2 weeks, August the 1st, 10 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Daddy Joe and Project